She stood up like gang gang. I got up like gang gang. Trina got the pushing. Well, she ain't push Toni. She pushed me back. And everybody know when you acting gang gang, you can't put your hands on somebody.
Toni's dress was 100% inappropriate to not only wear in a wedding, but to even wear at a wedding. It was lace, it was completely sheer. I don't know why anyone will wear something like that to anybody's wedding. You're not supposed to wear something that will draw attention away from the bride. Obviously, Towanda approved of it, but I'm sure Towanda was just happy Toni was there. All right. Regarding Tawanda's dress, there's a general consensus that it was a hodgepodge of confusion. She did not have a stylist to help her pull this look together. If she did hire a stylist, she needs to fire them. Don't ever hire that person again. But I understand being different and, having your own quirky style. I understand that. But if styling is not your forte, you have to get a professional to help you to pull it all together. Finale. So, question. Is Tamar the bad sister? Toni mentions that she had called Tamar and asked if she was coming to the wedding. I don't know why I couldn't think of Sean and Tawanda's name, but she mentions something about Tamar having too much pride. Now, listen, if someone tells me I'm disinvited, I'm not going to crash someone else's event. So I just hate that Toni tried to peg Tamar as this bad sister. Like, what is Tamar supposed to do? She's just supposed to show up and crash the party. And so in the next scene, Tamar is meeting with Taz, who is a medium, and Tamar is discussing a retreat that she wants to have for all of the sisters. That includes Towanda. Now, what's noteworthy about this scene is that Tamar probably is not aware of Towanda trying to encourage Toni to call the police during that incident, because many times when the episode is aired, that's the first time the cast is seeing the episode as well. And since Tamar may not be privy to what Tawanda did, she is looking very naive in this scene to me. And so anyway, fast forward, we're back at the wedding and Vaughn is sick again. I think that the timing of Vaughn getting sick is par for the course with all of the other mishaps that surrounded around Tawanda's wedding, bridal shower. The way it all went down just caused an unnecessary scene again. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think about that. And so now let's go to the sisters retreat. Okay. So it's Toni, Tamar, and Trina. They're at this beautiful house in Malibu for the sisters retreat. And I don't know the time span between the wedding and the retreat because um I guess it was enough time for Tawanda to come and be there. But anyway, she wasn't there. Tamar was disappointed. So Tamar decided to have a blow up doll in Tawanda's stead. So we'll talk about the doll a little bit later. So Trina and Tamar, they get into a little tiff at the very first dinner because Tamar mentioned Trina's anxiety levels, and Trina says she didn't want to divulge that on camera. And I didn't believe Tamar was divulging anything that we as viewers don't already see because we could physically see, something physically is going on with Trina. She doesn't look well. So speaking of this blow up doll, did y'all notice that that Tamar had changed the outfit of the blow-up doll. She already was in a cheap looking outfit, but then she changed her outfit and she's in yet another cheap looking outfit. Now, Tamar, you could have went into your closet, got some of your designer clothes, since we know Towanda likes to shop in your closet without permission, but you could have gotten some of your clothes and put it on that doll. But you guys, it really looked like, because we know Tamar doesn't own any clothes like that. I don't know where the heck she got those clothes, but she did not get them from her closet. Tamar, with her little shady self, she went to some yard sale, some old lady's yard sale, and purchased some clothes and put them on that doll. Shady. Now let's get into this beautiful sound bath that Tamar has set up. She actually put some thought into this retreat, okay? And Trina, Miss Holier Than Thou,
I tried to release myself and let myself go, but I don't know what she praying while she over there doing gongs and stuff.
You said the gong?
Yeah,
the gong show?
And pouring rain and the wind chimes and
You
stuff.
probably should have had like a 5-minute conversation with her before.
Probably.
Just so you could have.
I was not able to get into it. The whole time I'm pleading the blood and I'm speaking in tongues in my head. That's not my thing. I don't do the crystals and the bongs and the gongs and the pouring over me. That's not for me.
It was good.
I don't know who she's praying to, that gong over there. You know what's interesting is that Trina's deceased husband, Gabe, had some fetishes. And not only did you marry this man with all these fetishes, you married him once and then you married him twice, knowing his deviant behavior. Prior to marrying Gabe, you have some baby daddies on your resume. So I'm just so over this holier than thou. You can't even participate in a sound bath with some wind chimes and a gong. You were so rude and it was so unnecessary over this. And you could tell that the women felt a little uncomfortable because they felt Trina's bad energy. You know, maybe they should have brought some strippers. We know that's how she gets down, you know? All right, so let's go to my last thought. And it's it's regarding Tamar and Tamar apologizing to Trina and Toni, but they didn't reciprocate that. It was like they were sitting there like, yeah, you need to bring us here. You need to treat us. You need to have these chefs here. You need to apologize for the horrible thing that you did. You know, I felt like Tamar, she was being sincere with inquiring about the demise of her and Trina's relationship because she really wanted to know. So when they were sitting at the dinner table after she had apologized and everything, she really wanted to know like what happened. Or I think she inquired about that prior to her apologizing. Um, she also brought up the cease and desist letter. She brought up how that impacted her business, and that's how she feeds her and her son, you know. But what Tamar doesn't seem to get is Trina and Towanda, they want they want Tamar to struggle. They want Tamar to struggle how they struggle, you know. So during this segment, you know, Tamar also brought up how Trina used to come to her house every Sunday. And they used to hang out. And did y'all catch that Tamar was like, yeah, you used to bring the whole neighborhood. Okay. So Trina used to bring her crew. And I'm sure Tamar had a nice spread. So you were going there every Sunday, hanging out with her, you know? Um, so they got all of that out. Tamar apologized. I didn't hear any apologies from Toni or Trina, and I just hated that Tamar was sitting there apologizing to them like they're innocent. Tamar was also owed an apology from Toni and from Trina. Let me know if you all agree. Let me know what you all think about the finale. I will be doing a video on that interview that Tamar did on the Morning Hustle. It was very interesting. Alrighty, I think that's it. If you like the video, like it, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you all real soon.
She stood up like gang gang. I got up like gang gang. Trina got the pushing. Well, she ain't push Toni. She pushed me back. And everybody know when you acting gang gang, you can't put your hands on somebody